What is up, YouTube? Wow, I haven't done this style of video for a while, so bear with me. But as some of you know, my computer hardware took a crap, so I am straight up phone right now. No editing, programming, no none of that. So let's try this out. So today I wanted to talk about something a few people have asked me about, and that's my take on the increase in resellers that go from resellers to business owners and everything that goes along with that. A big controversy, well, I shouldn't say controversy really, it's just a discussion that's been going on is, YouTube channels like Doublemint and stuff like that, recruiting YouTubers and everything to kind of further their business and just in general, the stuff like that. So, I'm not going to say that this is going to be a video that's going to be dogging anybody. So if you're here for that, here on me trying to talk crap about people selling and stuff like that, then if you're here for that, just leave. Or if you want to chill and just watch the rest of the video, that's up to you guys too. But everybody has this stereotype for resellers that they are scumbags, that they are dirty people, that they do whatever it takes to make a quick buck. And we won't lie and say that that's not true for a lot of them, but it also is not true for a lot of them. I've been on YouTube for many years now. I've talked to many resellers, and I've, people that aren't on YouTube that do stuff like this too, I've also had discussions with them. And for the most part, they're just, everybody's just common people. They're just trying to make money. But I've never personally met, anyone that was purposely trying to rip people off, anything like that. And of course, you might say, well, that's because I live in a small town, I'm not in a big city, and stuff like that. And I would agree with you. A lot of times, let's face it, the Midwest small town kind of mentality is almost give your shirt off somebody else's or give your shirt off your back to give to somebody. If they really needed it, more than yourself. Always give to other people. But let's just get down to the beans and carrots or whatever whatever the kids are saying nowadays. 6-7. I don't try to judge people based solely on trying to make money to support their family or what is going on with it. Now, as for reselling in general, when I first started this channel and everything like that, I was a huge reseller. I had cornered the market almost here in small town northwest Iowa, buying lots from games, reselling some of it to further buy more games. Honestly, I would buy lots, and if I got a decent amount of return on it, then I would just resell what I could and buy the games that I really wanted. Now, am I going to quit my job to do that? No. It's just, it was just a fun little thing for me to do. Plus, I've talked about this before. At the time, it was a huge rush. It was like, sometimes when you'd come home with a tote full of games, and you kind of wouldn't know what was in there. There was multiple times where somebody would say, I don't know what's all in here. $100 and the lot's yours. I'd look at the top lot. Okay, I see 2 game cubes and something else. Obviously that's worth it right there. And then I'd just start pulling other stuff out. And then the rush of just trying to get a deal to go through was huge. And so I understand the reselling business just slightly. I'm obviously not on a scale of opening a store or dedicating a whole room or garage to my business or renting something out for it. I obviously was not on that. I'm not that good of a salesman. That's key with me, was I'm not that big a salesman. I don't like if people give me a sob story or tell me that they can't afford something. I am usually inclined to give them a discount because I feel bad for them. And that's why I could never be a good businessman or a salesman or anything like that, because I'm always too gullible, I think is the word. Once again, might be the Midwest nature of here. But are resellers really scumbags? No, for the most part, not. It's anybody's trying to make money. And whether they, tie down with some different kind of business ethics, do it a certain way, or just do it a certain way that you guys don't like. Like I see a lot of controversy over game lists, buying only from these lists because they know it'll make money. Well, doesn't everybody want to make money? You're not going to go to your job uh, and work 2 hours and expect to get paid for 8, right? You're not going to do some of this other stuff. Uh, Now, this is by no means saying that I support these channels or them in general. I'm just trying to be more of a neutral setting. Uh, my biggest thing is I know a lot of times these channels start off, or these businesses start off for the most part in the good, and then they turn greedy at some point, and then it just becomes, what do I want to say, a corporate kind of thing. Look at DK Oldies. I'm sure at one point they were, not so much into charging 150 to 200,000% or 200% chance, charges on their games. Same with GameStop. I'm sure. I mean, we all talked about this before. At one point, it was just like nice little gaming boutiques and everything like that, and then from then on, it got a little worse, and then it became completely about how much money can we make. And a lot of these guys are starting to sell on Amazon, and I believe that's how Phoenix Resale started getting his most his profits was selling on Amazon. And I think that's kind of what he still does besides the store now. But it's just kind of it's just people trying to make money to support, their families, their businesses and stuff, or support the business farther and everything like that. And I wonder sometimes too if it comes down to a little bit of jealousy for some people. Are people jealous that they are not able to do that? Not necessarily the traveling around and going to pawn stores or, buying and reselling like that. I personally couldn't do that. I do not like to travel. I do not like to stay at different places at all times. I am a very huge introvert, and so is my wife, and we just like to hang at our house, right? So that stuff like that was something I can never do, but I do enjoy the fact that I'm able to watch that on YouTube because, there's certain channels that do that I enjoy. I just said do. I am able to live kind of through it. So to me, that makes it a little bit funner just to kind of see how they do. Because there are certain channels I watch that don't do anything with gaming that have a similar aspect. But it's just interesting to see how these guys are able to do this. And it's fun to see what they find. That's like the huge thing sometimes. And I don't watch as much reselling videos as I used to because I used to follow a lot of channels where that was what they did. They went to swap meets, they went to freaking pawn stores. There's only a select few channels that I still watch, usually friends, or I just find them interesting. Or they keep me dialed in with their amazing editing and their storytelling and everything like that. It's hard for me to pick up a new channel that is simply recording them at a garage sale or something like that. So a lot of these channels that I still watch that do that have been my friends or guys have been watching for a while. But it's about supporting your family, and what it really comes down to too, some people get really, really hurt by the trolls online. And I can admit that when I first started YouTube and stuff, it really bothered me if somebody had left a negative comment or, did something else on YouTube. And then now that I progress through it more, I find that it don't freaking matter. Like, I'm 99% sure that I will never meet most of these people in real life. Most of them are just sad, lonely people that probably live in a basement, or they just are so, what do I want to say, sad with themselves that they have to go out and attack other people to make themselves feel good. And I mean, that's the way it is. So I don't want to, and I never wanted to be like that channel where I'm just constantly dogging people. But, and I think sometimes that's what happens too with a lot of these resellers. I mean, it's all about what you want to watch and what you don't want to watch, You don't have to watch those channels. If you watch a few of these channels, because it's like, it's funny. Because I see these people complain about these channels and do all this other stuff. But then you will watch those channels, and then you will see their comments, you will see this stuff, and then you'll see like they are purposely subscribing to these channels a lot of times, watching the content just to make bad content about the content that they're making. And sometimes it's just like, holy crap, dude! Like that is like I get it. You're trying to make content and stuff like that too, but isn't it a little bit hypocritical to be bad mouthing them and then still be watching their stuff? Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting sometimes too. Uh, and I can't say that I've never done it. I guess too. I used to occasionally watch a DK Oldies short or two to try and find some, uh, just some kind of little nugget or something to make a video about. But it is what it is. It's YouTube. It is, and it's YouTube. That's it. It's YouTube. It's not real for the most part. I think people don't understand sometimes that these channels and stuff like this is not how they really are. You know, sometimes it's characters, sometimes it's stuff to do with that. Like this video tonight, it's for the most part just my thoughts coming out. And will I make a video in 2 or 3 weeks that'll be counter-reacted to some of the stuff I say tonight? Probably. Because I don't use a script, I don't know nothing. Sometimes I just turn on the camera. And in this case, my phone tonight, which is, by the way, extremely weird. Not having my PC set up. I am sitting like sideways on my PC right now, just chilling. But like a lot of people, enjoy this kind of content. LA Beast recently just did a live stream, and I love just sitting and chilling because it's just like, yeah, I like the high class editing and showcasing I always say Pawn Stars now. And it's just like that show has just burned it in my head that it's not Pawn Stores, it's Pawn Stars, you know what I mean? But yeah, I enjoy those videos every once in a while, but it still comes down to doing this. So we're at a drag down for 12 minutes. So in closing, it's reselling on YouTube is purely usually for content. There's people that lie about stuff to make the content more good, and there is some people that do shady stuff because they want to entertain people, get them to watch it more, or they're just purposely doing it to rage bait people. And I see that a lot of times with certain channels, they will just rage bait people so they'll watch it and get angry, but in the end, that channel is just winning because guess what? You clicked it, you watched it, you got the ad revenue for them, you got them higher up on the scale, and now they got more people watching. So I don't know. I'd like to hear you guys' take on it. It's honestly, this video doesn't have really too much of a subject. I kind of jumped around, but yeah, I want to know what you guys' take on it. I mean, obviously, not all resellers are scumbags, but I want to know why people just kind of think that way. And do you guys really think it comes down to a jealousy thing? Do you think that a lot of times some people just wish that they could live that lifestyle of seeing all these games and doing all that? Because every time I go into my local game store and I see all the games she has and some of the trade-ins she gets and stuff like that, I somewhat feel jealous because it's like I almost want to open a game store just because it's so cool to see, you know, one of my biggest passions in life, and that's gaming. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this raw content. As always, stay retro, my friends. We'll see you in the next video. God bless. Bink. Shut up.